What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. It seems there was a lot of interest for a continuation to this What If. Here's a new part. So last time, we covered the story of Broly when he landed on Namek, being sent away to this planet instead of Vampa or somewhere else. We followed how he grew up as a Namekian, and eventually, the Frieza Force invasion of planet Namek. The last part left off with him meeting the Earthlings, Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma, and him eventually having to team up with Gohan and Krillin. Together, they may all be able to save Namek from Frieza's army. Will it be easy with Broly here, or will it still be a difficult challenge? If you guys want to see another part, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit our like goal of 2,500 likes. Without further ado, let's continue on with this part. So the biggest discussion in the comments on the last part revolved around what Broly's name should be. Should he have a Namekian name, should he have no name, or should he just be called Broly? Well, it was a little bit tough for me to decide. Sure, I think giving a Namekian name for him would be cool, and would make sense, but a lot of people suggested that I stick with Broly since it's a lot simpler to keep up with. And there is a simple explanation behind it. When Paragus did arrive on planet Namek, he could have been shouting Broly's name, and that could have somehow spread the word to Nail that his name was Broly. Personally, I don't think he'd go by that name his whole life, but he probably would know about it eventually. Sometime during his upbringing with Nail, Nail probably would have mentioned it in passing. So when the group of Earthlings ask what the Saiyan's name is, he hesitates for a bit. But after thinking, he accepts the name Broly. It's odd because he never truly adopted it, but this may be the start of that for him. It felt like he never really had a true name, and this may be closer to the real name that he'll have. I know, it might be a little bit anticlimactic, but like I said, keeping the name Broly gives a good sense of his identity. It makes it much easier first of all, but also regardless of his name, he's still seen as a true Namekian by all the people around him, but keeping his Saiyan name gives him that sense of uniqueness that he's had this whole time. Gohan and Krillin tell Broly more about why they're here and who they are, because they only gave a brief explanation before. Apparently, on this planet that they're from, Saiyans do exist, and by Saiyans I mean one Saiyan. Actually, this kid right here, he's a half Saiyan, part human, part Saiyan, which is pretty weird for Broly to see. I mean, it's weird for him to see a Saiyan in general because he's never really seen one before, much less a half Saiyan, or even an Earthling for that matter. Once they explain more about who they are and what their goal is, he's fine with them joining along, because he knows they're here for good purposes. It seems they were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe they were in the right place at the right time. They could be pretty helpful here in helping save planet Namek alongside Broly, but we'll see more of that as this part goes on. And of course, Dende is with the group and he tags along with them, so now this group of 4 heads out. And instead of Dende trying to take them to Guru, their goal right now is to stop the Namekian villages from being slaughtered. They eventually do run into a village that's facing trouble, and they see the person that's there causing all this trouble. Gohan and Krillin immediately recognize who it is, and Broly's confused. Why are they so scared? It's Vegeta, another Saiyan. Vegeta of course sees the group as well, recognizing Gohan and Krillin, but then he sees who's with them now, and he's terrified. A small Namekian's with them, Dende. Vegeta is terrified of this child. Nah, obviously I'm just kidding. He's scared of Broly being there. It's another Saiyan, and he's wearing clothing very similar to that of the Namekians that Vegeta just killed. Thankfully he hasn't touched this village yet, otherwise he'd be dead right now. And why is he teamed up with these Earthlings? Are they on the same side? Are they his hostages? Vegeta does have a Dragon Ball with him already, and he's not really sure what to do here. He can't tell how strong this guy is, but from what Vegeta can infer by his look and how he's carrying himself, he's definitely not an average Saiyan. Most likely, he came here a while ago and grew up here somehow. And considering how weak the Namekians were that Vegeta fought before, he's not too worried about this guy. At best, he's only going to be as strong as Kakarot probably, which shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Well, as long as this guy doesn't have some huge power boosting technique like Kaioken. But regardless, Vegeta feels confident. Not really sure what to do, he wants to try and appeal to Broly first. Maybe this guy is a true Saiyan and he would want to join Vegeta. Vegeta introduces himself, the Prince of all Saiyans, and the strongest among them as a high-class warrior. It's not really that big of a deal to be the strongest amongst 2 people. And little does Vegeta know, he's not even the strongest Saiyan. The strongest Saiyan is standing right in front of him. Vegeta tries to appeal to Broly, but Broly obviously won't budge. Without even noticing, Vegeta suddenly feels the weight that he's carrying is lightened, and he looks down and sees that his Dragon Ball's gone. Sitting next to Broly is that Dragon Ball. Broly was quick enough and nimble enough to take it without Vegeta even noticing. Vegeta's confused and a little bit concerned. How was he able to do that? But along with his confusion and concern, he's angry as hell. A nice talk won't work anymore. So Vegeta's just gonna attack him and take the Dragon Ball back. He lunges towards Broly, and in one shot, he's knocked out. Not knocked back, not knocked down on the ground, but completely unconscious in one hit. Broly turns to the 2 Earthlings and gives a little laugh. This was the guy they're worried about? Thankfully, they didn't know that Vegeta already slaughtered a village or 2. They just happened to run into him. Otherwise, he'd be dead meat. They sit around conversing for a bit, trying to decide what to do. Broly doesn't necessarily want to kill him because that feels wrong. They should just leave him here and forget about it. As they're about to depart, Vegeta ends up waking up again, weakened and injured. As they fly off, he shouts to them, but they don't pay him any mind. They gotta get going so they could find the Dragon Balls and make sure no other Namekians get hurt. Vegeta picks himself up and begins following them. Who is this guy? Is he possibly a Super Saiyan? They land at the village and get another Dragon Ball, but Vegeta eventually catches up to them while they're there. Broly's ready to take him down again, but Vegeta begins talking. He did want to pursue immortality, but now with Broly and group meddling, he knows that's not going to happen. But they might be able to help him thwart Frieza's plans at least. He begins talking and says that he wants to help them. He tells them all about this army that's on the planet, the Frieza Force, and their leader Frieza. He'll provide them info and help them, as long as he could join them. Really, Vegeta just plans to steal the wish last minute. So this is a win-win because they'll collect the Dragon Balls for him, and it'll give him some extra protection. In order to gain their trust, he begins saying everything he knows about the Frieza Force, and pleads for Broly to let him join the group. They are both Saiyans after all. They should stick together. But Broly replies saying that he's not one of them, at least not in his heart. That Saiyan pride thing isn't going to work on Broly. The Saiyans are cruel warmongers, as Broly has learned, and Vegeta just proves this stereotype. Although, this kid Gohan does seem pretty different. Maybe the Saiyans aren't all too bad. At this point, Vegeta just swallows his pride and flat out asks them, almost begging to join them. He knows he can't stop them and he won't get his immortality, but he pleads for them to help stop Frieza. Broly is incredibly strong and he may be able to help. Right now they plan to just get the Dragon Balls, but Vegeta's bringing up a new quest for them: defeat Frieza. Well, it's not really like Broly had any other choice. If he's gonna save the planet, they're gonna have to defeat Frieza eventually. He doesn't know about this guy or hasn't seen him yet, so he doesn't know what to expect, but judging by what Vegeta's saying, his power is unlike anything else, even above Broly's. Is this really true? I guess they'll just have to see. Vegeta joins them for the time being, now desperate to defeat Frieza. As they're about to leave this village, Zarbon then intercepts everyone, wondering where Dodoria is. He sees Vegeta with the group and immediately knows that nothing good's going on here. Zarbon is easily defeated, and Broly doesn't really like to kill, so he leaves him on the ground. Vegeta is astonished at how easily he accomplished this, but it seems Zarbon is not done yet. He gets up, transforms into his ugly form, and is ready to attack. Instead of going for Broly, he goes for who he thinks is the weakest in the group, that child, Gohan. Zarbon lunges towards him, ready to kill. Immediately, Broly's instincts kick in. While he doesn't like to kill, he knows they can't just leave Zarbon here. Briefly, his ki and anger flare up, and almost automatically, he kills Zarbon in one hit, making sure that Gohan's okay and wasn't hurt. He's fine, but speechless, as is everyone else. What is this guy? Vegeta's lucky he didn't get that treatment. Broly tells everyone to pack up as they're on to another village. He knows where all the Dragon Balls are located, and wants to secure the villages that already haven't been decimated, while also attacking Frieza's soldiers along the way. Judging by this Zarbon guy, they all seem hostile and out for blood, and it's terrible to see all the villages along the way. Some are fine, but others are completely decimated, dead bodies everywhere, houses destroyed, and overall, it's just a war zone. Meanwhile, Frieza's trying to contact Zarbon and Dodoria, but it's kinda odd. His scouter seems to be acting up, which is probably why communications won't work. It randomly keeps showing a power level that's in the 6-digit range, possibly even higher, but it always immediately drops back down after it senses this power level. Crappy scouters, this batch must be full of duds. First the power levels are acting up, and then the comms won't work. Whatever. He tells his soldiers to go find Zarbon and Dodoria and give a message. But something doesn't sit right with Frieza. He assumes that the scouters aren't working, but the thing is they're brand new. Maybe comms aren't working with Zarbon and Dodoria because something happened with them, and maybe those power levels are actually real. He brushes these thoughts off, thinking that it's impossible. The scouters have to be broken. Right? Moving into space, Goku is traveling towards Namek, doing his thing on his ship. He hopes everyone is safe, but King Kai gives him some news. Apparently, Vegeta is there as well as some other Saiyan. As far as King Kai knows, the Saiyan isn't with Vegeta or with Frieza, and seems to be an orphan raised by Namekians. But most importantly, he warns Goku about Frieza, telling him not to fight him. But Goku's more intrigued about this other Saiyan. There's another one? And apparently he's actually good. Hopefully Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma are in good hands. And maybe this guy could help them out. Back to Namek, the group covertly gathers Dragon Balls, while destroying scouters and defeating soldiers. Time passes and things are going very well for them. Frieza is just confused and kinda speechless. He doesn't really know what to do here. He's going around to villages by himself now, and they're empty. His soldiers are nowhere to be found, there's no Dragon Balls, and there's no Namekians there. It's not that the villages have been wiped out, it seems more so that they evacuated. He also brushes this off, thinking the Namekians must have just found out about the invasion and evacuated as a precaution. And if these Namekians know about the invasion, that gets him thinking, maybe that might be why the scouters were acting up earlier. He suspects someone is messing with their tech, and covertly destroyed their army. Little does he know, the scouter worked just fine, and all of his assumptions are wrong. Frieza has 1 Dragon Ball right now, and meanwhile, Broly's group has a whopping 6 Dragon Balls, so they only need the one that Frieza has. Gohan pulls out the Dragon Radar, and they sense that in the same direction that the Dragon Ball is, a massive power seems to be right near it. Vegeta remembers too that this is around the location that Frieza's ship landed, so naturally, they come to the assumption that Frieza has the last ball. For now, they decide they're going to head back to Guru's place. At Guru's place, Nail's pretty surprised to see how well everyone is working together, and how weird this ragtag group is. He is suspicious of Vegeta, of course, but he knows Broly can't handle him if anything goes wrong. As for Gohan and Krillin, he feels pretty confident in these two. Guru offers to unlock the potential of them and Dende, while Nail tries to distract Vegeta and keep him out of the loop, because he's not really worthy of this gift according to Guru, so they might as well just keep it secret from him now. Suddenly, everyone senses something approaching, and by something, they mean multiple things. 6 people are coming to Namek right now. Vegeta puts 2 and 2 together and thinks that it might be the Ginyu Force, but there's 6 powers approaching and one seems to be lagging behind. Who could it actually be? Broly is immediately on guard and decides to go after that lone ship first. This power feels incredibly different, but then Gohan and Krillin recognize it. One of these ships is Goku. But even with Goku there, these Ginyu guys do seem tough judging by their power, so they need to head over there and make sure Goku is okay in case he encounters them. They bring the Dragon Balls to Bulma to keep them safe, since she can't be spotted on a scouter and no one will find her, and then they decide to head to Goku with Broly. Not long after, Goku's ship does land on Namek, and almost immediately as he lands, the Ginyu Force descends on his location. He senses other powers coming towards him, knowing that it's Gohan and Krillin and possibly that Broly guy. Oh yeah, and Vegeta, I guess. He's not really in the mood to deal with Vegeta's BS right now, because right now he's facing against the Ginyu Force. Single-handedly, Goku defeats Jason Birder, putting the 3 other members of the Ginyu Force on guard. Goldo decides to try and stop time and attack Goku, so he does this, and while time is frozen, he begins punching and kicking Goku. His attacks do absolutely nothing, and he's pretty terrified. Scared, he goes back to the spot he was before, and right as he's about to release his breath, he sees something. A massive glowing light in the sky. He can't hold his breath any longer, and then he realizes what it is. It's a ki blast coming right towards him. He accidentally lets his breath go, and as soon as he does, the beam hits him and sends him flying off into a cliff. Rest in peace, Goldo. Goku looks over and sees Gohan, Krillin, Vegeta, and Dende, plus some other guy that looks like a Saiyan, so he assumes that's Broly. He's glad to see them, but this distraction allows Ginyu to swap his body with someone, deciding to take Goku since he seems to be the strongest here. Stealing Goku's body seems like a great bet. Ginyu Goku prepares to fight the rest of the group, thinking that he stole the strongest person's body here, but immediately, Broly appears in front of him, knocking him down. Once Vegeta explains what just happened, he knows not to kill Ginyu Goku, because they're going to try and trick him instead to get his body back. While Ginyu Goku's on the ground, he immediately can tell that Broly's the strongest one here. And he falls right into Broly's trap. He tries to swap bodies with Broly. Too bad for him, Broly reacts faster than Ginyu's beam can even hit him, quickly jumping to the ground, picking up Ginyu's original body, putting Goku and Ginyu back into their original bodies. Broly was smart not to hurt Goku too much. He only hit him hard enough to stun him, but not to hurt him. While Ginyu's now in his original body bleeding out, and Goku heals relatively quickly. Now Rakum's alone, and he knows he's heavily outmatched, but he tries to attack the group when they're not looking. Goku senses this and flares back at him immediately. With a single backhanded punch, Rakum is knocked far away. And Rakum then tries to leave to tell Frieza what's going on. Goku introduces himself to Broly, and is happy to meet him as well as being impressed with him. And he's caught up about everything that happened on Namek. The good thing is now, they can sense where Rakum is heading off to, and that he's ratting them out to Frieza, so this presents an opportunity. Frieza will probably leave his ship to come to this area, so as long as they disperse right now and remain under cover, they can all then meet up at Frieza's ship and get the last ball while he tries to survey this area. Goku puts his ship in a capsule, and they all split up, then coalescing at Frieza's ship to find the last ball. This plan actually worked. Frieza was stupid enough to go with Rakum and head back to the area, and Frieza scolds Rakum for letting them go once he sees that no one's there. It's completely empty, save for Goldo and Ginyu's dead body, and an unconscious Jason Birder. Jason Birder actually wake up, and they're pretty confused about what just happened, and they're caught up to speed. It seems the Ginyu Force is back in action, baby. Well, only 3 of them at least. Frieza sends the 3 of them to split up and search around for the Dragon Balls, while Frieza will head back to his ship for now. As long as he has 1 ball, he'll be fine, because he has leverage and he can defend it pretty effectively. Frieza gets back to the ship and he's immediately furious, knowing that they stole the Dragon Ball. He begins blowing up mountains around him in blind rage, thinking that they're near there and they're possibly not too far away. He goes into his second form and he isn't playing around anymore. He's gonna hunt these guys down himself and kill them at any cost. Far away, Nail sensed this. Frieza's tantrum can be sensed across the planet. Nail is still pretty confident, and if this is Frieza's full power, they may still have a chance. Although Frieza does seem to be incredibly strong. Can Broly really contend with him? They'll have to see. But then Nail senses something else. Someone's heading towards him. Recoome is coming to Guru's place, having sensed Nail on the scouter, trying to find any Dragon Balls. This place definitely has to have something in it. While the group returns to Bulma to summon Porunga, Nail now has to fight Recoome. Recoome and Nail encounter each other, and begin fighting. Recoome is a little too occupied to notice that the sky is turning black. He is kinda dumb. But Nail notices this and knows that everything's going well. If only he can hold off Recoome for now. While Porunga is summoned, they begin deciding on a wish. They're surprised that it happened this quickly, but it's for the better, because now they decide to wish Piccolo back, and then they realize that they need another wish to bring him to Namek. No problem though, they still have one wish which they could probably use to do something good with. They start thinking about what they want to use for the last wish, and then Porunga disappears. Guru has died due to stress. All the stuff happening around the planet, and now Nail is dying against Recoome. Broly is concerned, immediately realizing that this meant Guru died. He's distraught about the loss of Guru and a little saddened, but he knew this would come eventually. But this is sooner than he expected. What could have hastened his death? All the stress around the planet? Immediate danger? Or, worst of all, did someone actually kill him? Broly begins stressing out, and he tells everyone he'll be right back, trying to suppress his rage and sadness as well as his power, as he rockets over towards the area. Then, the worst happens. He senses that Nail is in danger, nearly dying. Of course, Frieza approaches too because he saw Porunga, so the group immediately leaves this area, and it becomes a game of chase, as they now have to try and avoid Frieza while Broly returns. Recoome has defeated Nail, nearly killing him, and decides to head into Guru's palace. As Nail lays on the ground, he then sees someone else coming towards him. It's another Namekian, but he doesn't recognize this one. The Namekian introduces himself. His name's Piccolo. Piccolo's a bit worried, trying to figure out what happened here. But then another power approaches the area, and Nail recognizes this one. It's Broly. Piccolo already knows who this is, as King Kai has kept everyone up to speed. Broly lands and curses himself. He wished he brought Dende with him. But maybe there's still time to save Nail. If he could bring him back there, no, that's not gonna work. Nail is on the verge of death right now, and there's no time to save him. Broly is on the verge of tears and rage, and Nail tells him that everything will be okay. He trusts that Broly can handle this. Piccolo is understandably confused, and then Nail points at him, telling him that he wants to fuse into Piccolo so his death won't be in vain. Taken aback, Piccolo eventually does accept, and Nail becomes part of Piccolo. While Nail is no longer there physically, Broly at least finds comfort in the fact that he lives on through this new Namekian. Recoome then exits Guru's palace and sees everyone there. There's a new Namekian and then some guy with long hair. But he doesn't care because these guys are obviously enemies. The temporary calmness that Broly felt goes away when he realizes that Recoome is the one responsible for Nail's death, as well as Guru. Guru and Nail are gone, and Broly loses it. Piccolo's ready to fight, but alongside him, Broly begins powering up immensely, disturbing both Piccolo and Recoome. It seems like the entire planet is shaking. Broly goes way past his full power, and even changes a bit. His muscles and hair grow, and Recoome's new scouter blows up in his face. Broly's trying to suppress his anger, but he can't, causing him to shout a massive beam of energy from his mouth. This beam hits Recoome and incinerates him instantly. Piccolo looks over, with the Nail part inside of him speaking. This isn't right. Everyone across the planet senses this, including Frieza as well as Jason Birder, all of whom were just chilling when their scouters suddenly exploded. They even see the beam of energy in the distance. Goku's group senses this as well, concerned. Broly then looks up at Piccolo, seemingly in a blind rage but also trying to control himself. His eyes are glowing a fierce yellow. This is where we'll leave off for now. Will Broly be able to control his rage? How will Namek be saved? Can they defeat Frieza? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit our like goal as well. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.